TriKind community. If you like adventure stories, unconventional beginnings, or wacky business startup stories, you're going to want to hear how we started. I'm Alana, founder of TriKind Clothing. I could tell you about my degree and my experience in the fashion industry, or how I learned about the detrimental effects of fast fashion, but I'm going to fast forward that and tell you how we became TriKind Clothing. Picture this: I began traveling India, a solo female traveler, fed up and angry with the consumption of toxic slave-labor clothes. Unsure of where to go or what to do, I began my journey. A little crazy with zero direction, but totally dedicated to start something impactful and different. My first stop was the Sambali Trust, a charity that helps women who are vulnerable, who don't have an education, who are domestic abuse survivors, or have little livelihood in their community. They work with them and they teach them English, math, self-defense, as well as sewing skills. I found the sewing skills very interesting, so I worked in their Sewing Empowerment Centre to understand, as garment workers, what support they need from employers. I spoke to them, I had surveys with them, teas, we had a Hindi translator, and I really built rapport with them. Eventually, I ended up collaborating with them and making our first product, our Cover Me Kindly kimono. It was fascinating for me to learn what I could from them and to start building TriKind's first supplier. After a very long Indian train ride journey, I set foot in Bangalore, hub of business in India, and I met India's first zero waste company. I learned how to reduce my consumption and learn a zero waste lifestyle. I then applied it to TriKind Clothing with our packaging. We don't use very much packaging. In fact, instead of using labels, we use our block print on the back of our clothes. I also met so many cool entrepreneurs doing eco-friendly things, from plant-based dyes to waste disposal. It was super inspiring, and it led me to my next phase in TriKind Clothing's supply chain. Next, I grabbed a bus to Auroville, the social enterprise hub of the world, filled with eco-brands, plant-based dyes, and ethical farmers. I learned so much from just talking to them and understanding their own supply chain. From there, I went to see the conventional cotton fields of Tamil Nadu, the second largest cotton producer in the world. Just driving through them, the smell of the pesticides and the chemicals all around me taught me so much, and I realized how much I needed to use organic cotton in our products, which is what we do. After, I went back to the Himalayas, which was my base, and I wrote my business plan based on the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals made by the UN. I learned how I can apply everything that I've learned, and then I started to look for my very first supplier for our underwear. Next, I threw on my backpack and headed directly to Kerala. I took a train to Balrampuram, a small town which specializes in plant dyes. From there, I took a tuk-tuk to the dye center. But the tuk-tuk driver wouldn't even drive into the jungle where the dye center was, because there were elephants and tigers all around us. So I was walking through the jungle hoping I could find this dye center. And when I finally reached them, it was worth it. There was a beautiful jungle where they source all of their natural ingredients, from barks, flowers, soil, coffee. They use all of these ingredients to make beautiful colors, which we now source for our underwear and loungewear. They use zero chemicals, zero fasteners, and zero mordants, all completely natural and all beneficial for your skin. So from there, I have been building our range ever since. Our final stop was in Delhi. I took a taxi out to an industrial area where I had no idea where I was. Although we didn't go ahead with this factory, our other eco-factory is not far from there. It uses reutilization for water, it's kind and fair to their employees, and they use renewable resources for their energy. They're an amazing team, and we're super excited to be working with them. It's been such a whirlwind of a journey, and we really hope you'll join us in our journey of kindness. So why not try TriKind Clothing today?